All right, we have ventured over from the excavators to the loaders. I have found Chris. All right, first off, I got the name right. I'm horrible with names. So, all right, we're going to pretend like we've never seen a loader in our lives. I do have an old loader, but we don't run a whole lot of loaders on our job sites. I'm going to let you take it away. Give us the highlights, give us the big points, and then you're going to hopefully give us enough training that we're going to try to load a truck here in a minute.
We're going to load a truck, not a problem.
Sounds like a plan.
So this is our L180H. This is what we would classify as a large loader, production class machine. About 62,000 pounds operating weight. We have a 13-liter engine we're running, about 330 horsepower.
So a common application for this would be like a loadout yard for a quarry or something like that, a log yard.
Maybe feeding an asphalt plant.
Gotcha.
You know, high productivity requirements, certainly loading trucks all day long.
So what's the what makes the Volvo loader stand out from possibly some competitors as far as features or performance, or everybody's got their strong points?
Yep. So a couple things. I mean, the driveline itself, the whole entire driveline, axles, transmission, engine, everything is all Volvo.
So it's all homegrown components.
Yep, all of our own components. So that allows us to really maximize the power of the engine throughout the machine. So we don't have losses due to someone else's transmission, someone else's axles.
Gotcha.
You know, our net and gross horsepower are generally like the same or like maybe 1 point off. So that engineering work really attributes to the good power transmission and good, you know, fuel efficiency as well.
Now, one thing I've always heard is, I'm going to air quote this, outsider, about the Volvo loaders is the ride quality. You guys are known for ride quality.
So yeah, we do have a couple different things in play there. We have our boom suspension system, which has multiple modes for different applications. So that allows us to cushion the lift cylinders, so we don't have that violent movement of the load on the front of the machine. So it basically smooths that out, allows the machine to seamlessly run across the road surface or the surface that you're running on.
Well, you want to jump up the cab, check out the options?
Let's do it.
Creature comforts?
Yeah.
All right, we have made it to a control center. So you want to give us a quick little rundown of what we got here?
Absolutely. So inside the cab, similar to an automobile as far as fit and finish, but steering, a couple other things are a little bit different. Obviously, this is an articulated machine, so the front wheels are going to track the same as the back wheels, so we split and steer in the center.
Gotcha.
We have two different ways to steer the machine. We can use the steering wheel, or we have joystick steering. The joystick steering is widely utilized in high productivity environments to eliminate the operator having to go back and forth here and steering the wheel, so it's less movement, less operator fatigue. But loading trucks all day, this would be the preferred method to run the machine. If you're just kind of doing a couple, different things in and out of the machine, maybe you want to run the steering wheel. But
gotcha.
This is definitely, from a productivity standpoint, the way most operators would run. On your right-hand side, you have we call it the lever carrier. So on the far lever on the right is your lift and lower. So pull back to lift, push forward to lower. The next lever over is our tilt. So that'll tilt our bucket in and out. So dump and curl. On the floor, we have an accelerator pedal to the far right, a brake pedal next, a brake pedal on the other side. And that little button in the center there, the little tiny button down there, that is what we call our differential lock. So that'll lock up your front axle posit track if you're in like really, really slippery conditions or something, like wet topsoil, something like that. On the left-hand column here, we have forward, neutral, reverse. So forward, neutral, reverse. Fully automatic transmission, so there's no shifting that the operator really needs to worry about. They can limit it to a gear if you wanted to run slower, but again, if we run in fourth gear, the machine will shift as it needs to between all three gears.
It'll choose its proper gear. There, forward reverse is also.
If we activate the joystick, we can put that into position. We can activate it, and then forward, neutral, reverse is here, and you have your first gear kick down to go into a pile here.
Gotcha.
I didn't mention that as well. The first gear kick down is on the lift lever here.
Backside there.
So when we penetrate the pile, when we get to the toe of the pile, we kick a loader down in the first gear to get the maximum amount of torque to push the machine into the pile to load the bucket.
Perfect. This display here looks a little new from what I've been in a few other Volvo loaders.
So this is our co-pilot display. It does a couple different things. One, it houses our reverse camera. It also provides a couple, it'll house different apps we have running, one being our scale system, we call it Load Assist. It's our onboard weighing system. That'll show you weight inside the bucket. We have a couple other apps. We have operator coaching. This will coach the operator to run better, to do better, show you things to improve. It'll also show you how you're running, you know, from a fuel standpoint, material movement standpoint. Again, suggestions, what to do better, what you're doing great. And then finally, the main display is going to show us our utilization, idle time versus working time, how much we're using the brakes, how much we're using the throttle, and then our lockup converter.
Gotcha.
The key is here to get into these small areas and turn the circles green, more or less, and that gets you to your most efficient.
So you can kind of turn operating into a game to be more efficient.
This only goes to the operator too. We don't transmit this data anywhere, so it's really a tool to help the operator just, you know, on their own, you know, take a look at it. It will run in the background. They don't have to run this display when we run our scale system.
Can you save different operators? So if I jump in here, I can choose Mike's operating.
So I can go in here to my profiles, and we can go in and create different profiles in here, and then you can also password protect them, and then that operator. So you
can also have fun competition with your coworkers on who's doing a better job.
Absolutely. Tire pressure monitoring. We all know how expensive tires can be. So tire pressure monitoring is going to show you basically temperature and pressure on each tire. We can drill down even further and see, you know, if the tire goes low or temperature elevates, you'll definitely get a warning across the display showing you, no matter what app you're running. Again, this also will run in the background, so an operator doesn't have to sit here and watch it. They can simply run the primary application, which is the onboard weighing system, and then go from there.
Gotcha. Well, I think we need to go see if we can put this girl to work.
Yeah, let's go get a couple buckets and get that going and see if we can't get a truck loaded.
All right, here we go. First attempt loading the truck. I mentioned I'm not a loader operator.
You're not doing bad, man. You can roll that bucket back a little more. Yep.
It's always nice when you got a coach. So how do we automatically log our weight here so we know?
It will. So as see, it already locked. You heard that beep.
Gotcha. And we are loading the 40-ton truck. This is where I was told if I scratch paint, I'd buy it. So if I click that back, it defaults into...
Yep, you can leave it there, and then it'll be parallel all the way down, flat when you get to the bottom.
You know how many comments we're going to get on we're not doing this efficiently, and we backed up too far, and we didn't hit the pile at the right angle, and all that good stuff. Oh, tilted back a little too fast. Oh, we got us a good one on that one there. Oh, don't T-tip back when you're up. So we got a 40-ton truck. What size loader? 180?
Yes, sir.
How many scoops we're going to put on there?
I think you're going to be able to fit, I'd say we try to squeeze 4 on it.
4 on it? Well, the first one wasn't 100% full, so. Oh, 4 is going to be close.
It's going to be spilling. They're going to have a heck of a load. But no, we could probably get 4 on that.
Oh, we're going to see what she's got.
Try to put this one up close to the front of the truck.
You're determined to get 4 on there, aren't you? I like your thought process here. Well, they're going to get 4 whether they want it or not.
Yes.
Watch the headache rack up there.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, we'll make her.
Yep. And try to get the right corner heavy. Right corner of the bucket heavy.
I like the game plan. I don't realize how much power this thing has. I go to push the pedal down and realize I'm only halfway there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blame my inefficient loading on Chris's parking job. That's what I'm going with, folks.
Yep, he should have been back against the pile.
Oh, look at that. That's perfect.
Yep.
So what's our report here? I guess we need to give him a, where's the little honky at? Horn somewhere. So is that what we put on him?
70,000 even.
So we're gonna get a progress report here.
What is that? That's missed opportunities.
Well, let's switch roles here and we'll see where we're at.
Did you notice that the truck moved up any?
Yes, we did. I even commented. I said, you can't blame my inefficient loading on my parking job. I thought Wade was in there for a second. All right, we are going to switch over to the articulated hauler. We got the A40g, which is about 10 tons larger and about 25 years newer than what I'm accustomed to. Got Danny here. He's going to show us or tell us a little bit about it real quick, and then we're going to see if we can get a load on this thing.
Yeah, so this is a A40g truck. It's a 43 short ton is the capacity on this truck. Yeah, it's got a few features on it. It's got automatic traction control, hill assist, downhill assist as well. It's got cruise control on it like your car.
I think one thing we should mention, these articulated haulers, I think it was started off with Gravel Charlie. This is like what kind of put Volvo on the map. This is what they were known for back in the day. And still today. I shouldn't say back in the day, even today.
We still have market share on the trucks. Yeah, the trucks are just an awesome, they're an awesome product that Volvo has designed over the years, all the way, like you mentioned, Gravel Charlie up till now, you know. And
if you operate one or you're around one much, it does not take long to realize why they have the market share. They are awesome stuff.
Yeah, and I have operators come in from all over, and they get here and they say we have mixed fleets, and they're fighting over who's going to get the new Volvo to be able to operate it. So it's pretty cool.
Well, I'm hoping the heat works in that thing. Let's jump up there and check her out.
Absolutely.
So it don't take long right off the bat to realize we are not in Bubba Dump anymore, guys. Completely different machine. I'm assuming I need to get a seatbelt on here at some point.
Absolutely. Yep, that's one thing with this truck, Michaels, it will not shift out of first gear unless you get the seatbelt and the door shut.
So tell us a little bit about it.
All right, some different features than what you guys are used to seeing is, this is what we were talking about earlier, the cruise control. So you have basically one switch. When you get it to the speed that you want, you push you know, one side, it will set it to that speed, whatever you're traveling. If you need to increase the speed, basically it's simple, push plus, it goes up 3 miles per hour in increments.
Gotcha.
To increase. Same thing with decrease. If you touch the brake pedal, it cancels that out.
So very similar to what everybody's used to in an automobile.
Absolutely. So another thing with haul trucks is you want to maintain your speed going downhill, especially with loads, right?
Correct.
You don't want to overuse your service brake and everything, so we kind of help the operator do that by this switch here. So we can push this side of it is engine exhaust brake. That's what that symbol means, okay? And it will hold back when you let off of the throttle with just an engine brake, basically keeping, you know, closing off the exhaust, making the engine slow down.
And that's not maybe the control of it's new, but that system's been on the haul trucks for a long time.
It has. It's just another tool that we've utilized in a different way with one switch. And then when the bottom part of that switch is the downhill assist part of it, where when you're going downhill, so you have a certain speed going downhill, if you're on a downhill slope, it recognizes, okay, we can set this feature. It will, once you push it and hold it, it will maintain that speed that you're traveling. It's kind of like cruise control, but it'll maintain that speed every time it starts down a slope. It'll over a percentage, right, where it needs to use that feature. So downhill. This one down here is the transmission inhibitor. You have a gear on the outside with a lock,
so
but it inhibits.
Lock it, choose third gear, second gear, it'll only go so far.
Well, what it does is like when you're climbing a hill and say you've got a load and it keeps shifting between third, second, what the operator should probably do, if once it goes back into second, you want to push that and it keeps it in that second gear till you get to the top of the hill. When you start increasing speed, it automatically shuts off and you continue on. So it's an inhibitor, not really a lock.
Gotcha.
Yep. So that's another switch. And then we also have the load and dump brake, which is different. So say I'm going to back up and I've got it in reverse. All right. Once I get back to the pile, your loader or excavator operator toots a horn and you stop. Then you push this, okay, and what it does is it locks all the 6 service brakes and it puts the machine in neutral without you putting the machine in neutral, okay? So once you're loaded, okay, then when you come out of reverse through neutral to drive, that's what turns it off, and you can.
I could definitely see where that'd be handy, especially if you were short cycling a lot one day, just hitting that button and being able to go. That's a feature somebody listened to a truck driver.
Yeah, and it helps them out. The other good thing about that feature, Mike, honestly, is, you know, the way it uses the service brakes, okay, it puts it in neutral. So all the shock when you're loading the truck is going into the tires, not into the drive line. So it's very important.
The parking brake is on the drive line. The service brakes are actually out on the wheel.
Absolutely. Yep, dead on it. So one more button and then we can go. So this is ATC. So the other thing is, I know you're with Chris a lot, and his truck has axle locks front and rear, so he can lock them up and they stay locked all the time.
Same way ours truck has got 2
We kind of took that away from operators because it would wear out tires and stuff like that, and created ATC, automatic traction control again, and we've got a switch in here. So what it does is it locks up normally when you're driving a truck, you're running with the front axle and the center axle, and it's limited slip on those 2 axles, so it bounces back between each tire.
Interaxle differential is actually in the transfer case.
Yep. And so ATC, what it does for you is it locks up that 3rd axle as needed if it senses slippage in the front 2, okay? So it'll lock up those lockups in between, and if you look at the screen with the little truck, you can see the little lock in the
right there.
Yep. So when we start running it, ATC, when it kicks on the third axle, you'll see another little yellow dot come up there showing ATC's on, and it's involving all 3 axles. Okay. Gotcha. There's another thing that we can do. We can turn that off. Say if you're in slippery environments and you don't want it going in and out with that 3rd axle, you can basically do that, turn it off. You can see the emblem on the dash, so it's not going to be going in and out on its own. Or you can hold it down and it will lock that 3rd axle in all the time, okay? And it's not coming up now because these locks are like gear locks. So it's got to be lined up for it to come in.
And I noticed we still have the, I call it the old crap button on the floor.
Yep, and you can see it. I don't know if you want to show it or not, but that's
just a quick, if you're in a hole, need to pop out real quick.
Absolutely.
Pop on that.
And that's a very good feature to have too. It'll pull you out, all 6 wheels. Backup
camera is definitely a nice feature.
Yep.
Load weight on there.
Yep, and we call it Hall Assist.
Hall Assist.
So we can see the load as he's putting it in, and you'll see it actually fill up, and you can track how much weight in there.
All right, well, you want to make a quick little trip around the pile? We'll see if we can get a load on this thing.
Okay.
So much quieter than the other trucks.
Yep.
And the ride quality, man, the ride quality of these Volvos is
pretty nice.
It's awesome.
Yep.
So we just make a loop up around the pile here?
Absolutely.
You're awful brave riding with me, Danny. Now, just for the record, on that guy's channel back there, I've seen a few Volvo haul trucks on their side.
I understand.
Knock on wood, that's not happened yet.
Yeah.
On this channel.
So I'm probably safer with you than
I'm gonna let you make that decision. I'm just kind of pointing out some facts here, Danny. That's all I'm doing is just
that sounds like some pretty solid facts.
Yeah, I mean the video evidence, literally the video evidence is posted.
I guarantee it.
So Chris over here is giving me a hard time about how I loaded this truck, even though the very first scoop I took with that loader was on the truck. Look at him over there, he's practicing.
So I'm going to defend you a little bit on that, Michael. So, you know, he's wanting the truck full. Well, it is full. It's just the density of the material is not giving you the weight.
Well, he's got to learn that the hard way.
Yeah, he's fixing to learn it the hard way.
So what I'm thinking we can do is, as he puts the first one on there, how fast does this thing dump? Can we like dump out 5 or 6 ton while we're waiting on him to get back?
I don't know if it'll be fast enough. I hope it is, because I want to see it.
Well, I tell you what we could do is we could get one bucket on there. We could drive around the pile and just spread it and come back.
Yeah.
He'll never know.
He'll never know.
He'll never know. All right. Pull up here and let Chris do his thing. All right, so you said basically I can pull up and hit that button?
You can hit that button. Now, if you notice, it puts it in neutral, and you can see the light on the dash. It's awesome. Got the service brakes on.
See Chris back there playing around the camera. All right. We don't have radios. We have to go with the thumbs up.
Let's see. So yeah, Mike, so he won't be able to put any more than you did on there. It's going to be coming off. So he's fixing to learn a hard lesson.
I guarantee you one thing. I know Chris well enough.
He's going to try.
He's going to try.
Yep.
He is going to try.
But tell him he's got to make a green light come on the thing before you pull out on the load management.
So as he comes over the truck and loads it, you guys will see. I'm assuming that'll update. Yep, there's the percentage. So percentage loaded. So basically, first bucket is 23% loaded. All right, he's got 3 buckets on us, 32 ton, 74% loaded. Can't really see over the headache rack over there, but I'm guessing there's going to be some rock running off the side of the truck.
You want to step? Well, I mean, I think it's safe enough you can step out when he gets over there, because he's loading toward the back.
He's got a little room back there.
He's not loaded.
Well, it's still not green, which means I'm not full yet.
Hey. You need to ride him hard. He's still not loaded.
He's still not loaded.
And you got a yellow light, not a green one.
Well, we are, volume-wise, we are full on that. So I guess the next thing is see how this truck handles a load.
Yep.
So 40-ton haul truck here, Danny.
Yep.
How many horseshoes we got underneath the hood on this?
So I have to look right off the bat as far as horsepower. I'll have to come back with you on that one.
All right. At top speed?
It's going to be around 38 miles per hour.
Very smooth riding trucks. I mean, honestly, it don't drive a whole lot different with 38 ton on it than what it did with.
It's kind of like you know, your heavy duty trucks, you know, on the road trucks. Like if you have a 450, it rides like a, you know, a bucking Bronco empty, but you load it down, it rides better.
We'll make us a quick loop around the pile here, and then we'll. This thing was full. You know, if you had one of these, I don't think you'd mind being a rock truck driver.
Yep, so 469 on the horsepower.
So just shy of 500 horse.
Yep.
All right. One nice feature this thing does have is the backup camera.
It is. and you can use that lug for whatever you're backing to, like an excavator or whatever. Center it up, and you can center it every time. And then your load and dump, just hit it. Just hit the load and dump. This.
Gotcha.
Yep, and then you can do it.
I don't know if I want to watch it in the camera or watch it out the back. Man, the bed's so much faster on this truck.
Awesome.
Very nice. Like it. So I'm assuming this has features on it to where if this bed is tilted at a certain angle, it'll protect you from going up.
Inclination.
And it'll also give you warnings if it thinks you're...
It will. What'll happen is inclination will come up, or come on the screen, and it will stop the hydraulics.
And I did miss it, but the other locker did kick in as we backed into the pile.
It does.
There. I seen the light come up.
You can put it in reverse now if you hold the brake. Put it in reverse and you can see it kick in. You should be able to.
Yep, there it is right there, yep.
You had to roll just a little bit? Right. Yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, that's going to be a wrap on the day. I don't know if you can tell, but we got some weather moving in. There's actually a little bit of snow flying, but Volvo has got a lot of exciting stuff in the pipeline, and a lot of that stuff will be on display. Con Expo 2023, March, Las Vegas, Nevada. Myself, Chris, and several others will be out there at the Volvo booth, so be sure to come out there, check out what they got going on. Also, a lot of other influencers here today. Chris Let's Dig 18, Cotton Top, Randy of the Extreme Sandbox. Man, I'm just going to put a list in there, as I know I'm going to forget a few of them, but check out their social media channels as well for their views of what went on today, because they're all going to have a little bit different take of the experience here. But cannot thank Volvo enough for hosting us. This was absolutely awesome. I'm going to go inside, warm up a little bit, get some food, and we're going to head back to Indiana. Thanks for watching, guys.